So because I'm an absolute madman, we're going to look at the top 100 gaming channels today in terms of views sorted by Social Blade. I'm going to be reviewing thousands of thumbnails over the course of this video. A lot of it's going to get edited out, but I hope you can learn some stuff if you're trying to start your own gaming channel and understand like what makes thumbnails work. So let's dive right in and take a look. So I have Social Blade open. If you don't use Social Blade, it's a great scraping tool. They pull a lot of YouTube data. I'm literally going to open every single one of these channels sorted by video views. We don't care if they're English speaking or not English speaking. We just care that they are the most viewed channels in the gaming space. And yep, this is going to take a while. I will see you back in like however long this takes me.
Many minutes later.
All right. So we now have all of the tabs open. You can see I have 50 tabs in this window and 50 tabs in this window. I'm now going to actually, because Social Blade doesn't immediately direct me to the channels, I will now be opening each of these links to get to the channels in question, which I now need to open. So give me a hot minute.
1 hour later.
Okay, so we've now opened literally 100 tabs, or close to it. I think we had 2 or 3 casualties, and not from misclicking. For whatever reasons, the channel didn't exist, like it was deleted, or there was an error in the data, so we're not going to get all of the channels. I now have, I mean, as you can see, literally 100 tabs open, which is really exciting, and I hope I don't accidentally close either of these windows, because that would be deeply sad. But we have 100 tabs open, which is fantastic. I am now going to put all of these into a spreadsheet so that I can more clearly understand what we're looking at, and I'm going to stop recording, build that spreadsheet, and then hop back into this.
2 hours later.
If my eyes look tired and watery, it's because they are, because I've been staring at a screen for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But I have this big, beautiful spreadsheet, which I'm really proud of. You know, I just went through all the data. These are the top 100 gaming channels sorted by views according to Social Blade, and that's lifetime views. You can see there's a tremendous number of Minecraft and Roblox YouTubers that use very similar art styles and have similar strategies, so I've lumped them together. I know they're not the same game, they're very different, but the style of content tends to be very similar. I've grouped these into one big group because there were just so many, and then we have all these other gaming channels, as well as whether or not they're English, whether or not the host is male, female. If you want to look at this spreadsheet, I'm going to make a Google Sheet version of this. It's going to go up online, and you'll be able to open a link and look at this yourself if you're curious, and maybe you want to add data to this. If you wanted to add your own columns, send it my way if you do end up adding information to this. One thing I do... Oh, no. I need to add age. We need to know how old these channels are. Alright, gang. I will be back in another 30 minutes or more. Actually, let's do this live. Why the heck not? This is scary. I might break my... Okay, save. Save the tabs. Save them. Save the tabs. Yes. So we've now saved all of the tabs, which is beautiful. Now that we have... By the way, there were some channels I noticed. So a few things that I did notice from this review. We had some bad data channels that absolutely should not be on this list that have like 1,000 views or less. Let's open one of them. Like this has 5 million subscribers, but there's only 3 videos. So let's see. Oh, it's a shorts channel. That explains it. Okay. There may be some errors in this data. So I'm going to go and update those. So let's go back to Anthony Senpai. Where the f*** is Senpai? So there's like one error in this. I have to like go track it down. It's like a hellish nightmare.
Eventually.
Aha! Okay, so there was one channel that actually had bad data. I made a mistake earlier in thinking that some of the channels had bad data when they were shorts channels. This one actually is bad data. There's no shorts here. So I don't know what happened with Slogo. Somehow he got in here on Social Blade's list. This is Social Blade's data, not mine. I'm just manually combing this. All right, now we're going to do kind of an exciting thing where I'm going to hit Control-Shift-T a lot and hopefully not break my computer, but I might break my computer, and I'm kind of excited to see if I break my computer. Oh, there's a limit to how far back I can go. That's a problem. So we're going to close everything.
You get the idea.
Okay, I'm really excited now. So we have our date data. Why did I include the dates? Why was this so important? Well, it teaches us how long it takes to create a successful YouTube channel. So let's get the median real quick of all of this information. So these are the top 100 gaming channels. I corrected all of the bad data. There were some faulty links and faulty info. There's 1 or 2 channels on here. Okay, 4 or 5 that fall under gaming that I don't consider gaming channels, and I've accounted for that in the data. But the median, as you can see, because I just did this quick formula, very simple to do. The median of this information is 2013. It's also the average. I did the average when I wasn't recording. But to give you a sense of how long it takes to create a successful YouTube channel, like if you want to be in the top 100, it takes 10 years mostly. Just because I'm interested, let's see how many of these channels are from 2018 or younger. Like how many of these channels were actually made. I know, isn't that funny? This isn't a gaming channel at all. It's a pets channel, Pet Swag. But let's take a look at how many of these are actually gaming channels, because you can see some of them are not gaming channels. I'm actually going to mark that right now. Now, these are just ones that I don't consider personally to be gaming channels. That doesn't mean they're not. But for example, there was some that just had faulty data. Like, this is not a gaming channel at all. This is not a gaming channel at all. Pet Swag and what was the writing channel? Consti. That's a writing channel. So now we have channel age, largest to smallest. And you can see there are a bunch in here that just straight up are not gaming channels that are really young. Does that necessarily mean that you shouldn't start a gaming channel if you want to grow quickly? No, but it does mean, hey, look, if you are a Minecraft or Roblox YouTuber, this is a fantastic way to grow really fast. And then, Mr. Beast, of course, is going to grow really, really fast. Mr. Beast is a big player. But you can also see, like, there are other genres where you can actually grow faster that aren't necessarily gaming. And then you'll notice that there are 2 Indian channels on here. The Indian market has been growing rapidly because that country is gaining internet access at an incredibly fast rate. So more and more people are hopping on. Not included in the data that I did notice that I may go back and change. A lot of Spanish-speaking channels on this list. A lot of Russian channels on this list. Not as many Indian channels as one might think. But the majority were English-speaking. The majority by far were English-speaking, which is why I didn't really segment that in the data. So with this data built, we can now actually start to look at these thumbnails. So this first section is going to be entirely not Minecraft and Roblox content. It's going to be just general gaming content. Anything that falls under no, we're not even going to talk about in this video. So, it's really like we'll be looking at the top 60 or 70 channels in the gaming space. There are a bunch that I don't consider gaming channels that you might, so you can go and look at those on your own. I'm going to link this spreadsheet out so you can go take a look at these. But let's look at some of the gaming channels. I'm going to open these up. So I have like 60 tabs to open now. Always thrilling, always thrilling.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so we're looking currently at about the top 50 YouTube channels in the space, maybe slightly less than that. But these are the ones that are not Roblox or Minecraft channels. I've sorted these to the best of my ability. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm opening the most popular videos on each of these channels. If you haven't watched my other videos, this is a really important tactic when you're trying to sort by most important content. There are some shorts channels that are going to be excluded from the data that I may do a separate video about because I just want to focus on the long form content for now. And we're just going to see what we can see, man. We're going to see what commonalities we can find across these channels and see what tactics tend to work. So this is something that I know because I've been in the YouTube space for a really long time. Faces are huge. And we all know Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Marvel, like these are big topics, right? So topic has a huge impact on outcomes. Look at how many faces we see in the top performing thumbnails on this channel. The Rad Brad, very, very interesting. It's all faces, right? Look at all these faces. That's just crazy. That's so interesting. Faces back to back to back to back to back. A lot of it is Spider-Man. I'm seeing multiple Spider-Man videos in here, which is very interesting. All right, let's keep going. PlayStation, yeah, more Spider-Man. Again, faces. We're seeing faces. God of War, there's that giant face. Yeah, the used game instructional video, that was a good viral video back when that came out. Let's see what else we can see here. Okay, no faces. Ooh, guns. Why is it just guns? That's very interesting that there's 4 or 5 videos that, topics, right? Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3, those were big topics 12 years ago. Let's see what else. A lot of his reaction content. I'm actually going to move some of that content over to the left, stuff that doesn't match. Mr. Beast, I almost don't even want to look at his channel because it's Mr. Beast. Anything he does is going to get a ton of views. There we go. Unhosted stuff. Very interesting. Why did this do well? And then I believe this is a foreign, not English-speaking channel. Gosh, this is fascinating. Why on earth? Very, very interesting. There's no rhyme or reason to a lot of these thumbnails. So this one, not everything is going to have an explanation, and this is one of those weird channels where I'm like, how is this the most viewed content? Let's see. Okay. Big reactions, train escape from Granny's house. I finally escaped the Granny house. So something worked there. Something resonated with the Granny house. I am the luckiest robber. Again, there doesn't seem to be a lot of rhyme or reason. I think this is another one of the Indian or foreign-speaking channels. Okay. Let's see. I busted 500 myths. So challenges like I did X seems to work really well. That's something that we've now seen on 2 channels, including the Indian-speaking channel we just looked at. Faces, open mouths, big reactions. That tends to have a big impact. Let's see what else we can see here. Yeah, TikToks that are actually good. I became a stream sniper. These big reactive faces. Oh, yeah, romance. People love, kissing and stuff and romance, so that probably got a lot of attention. Wow, so guns. There might be something to guns. Look at the aiming reticle. The fact that it's aiming at something. There might be something to that. We've seen a few different channels now that have, guns and gaming reticles. Let's see what else we can see here. Face, again. Faces are big. Faces. Let's see what else. Very common content. What I'm noticing is a lot of TikTok content in the most popular. Stuff you would see on TikTok seems to be doing really well. Face is big, expressive face, right? Look at this action shot. There's a gun. So these POV gun shots where somebody's holding a gun and the camera is behind the gun, that seems to be getting a lot of interest. Laser guns, arrows. This is classic YouTube. What else are we gonna see? Let's see. Arrows again. This is again. Look at this one. So arrows are big. This, not quite romance, but peeing, pooping, sex stuff. That stuff tends to do pretty well, so it doesn't surprise me that those are in the top. Blood. I'm shocked that they got away with a thumbnail like that. Face. A face surrounded by blood, right? There's another face. Big expressive faces. What else we got? Let's see. Big expressive faces. What else? Oh, PPAP, another viral video. There you go. So you'll see a lot of viral videos. Ooh, he edited it. He photoshopped his face to have a weird expression. Very interesting. Big expressive faces. What else we got here? Yeah, look at that. Big expressive face. And then that side-by-side image. So we see a lot of images that are cut in half where there's an action shot, something like mid-action, and then there's how someone feels about it. So we see somebody falling on the floor, black belt killed versus white belt adults. So you can see the kid with the really expressive angry face and then the adult on the floor. So there's something to do with action shots in the background that take up most of the image with then a face sort of in the foreground with a reaction. We see a lot of these cut split in half images, right? There's an arrow there. Also, he's shirtless, right? That's a sex thing. Let's see, what else? 100 babies. Single girl tries the 100 baby challenge. So I try a challenge. That works a lot. What else? Faces. Look at all these faces. It's all faces. Yeah. Spooky faces. All kinds of faces. Big reaction shots. Lots of bright colors. We're seeing a lot of bright colors. Grandma. Fascinating. So I thought it was a fluke that grandma and grandpa was a thing. But look at, we've now found 3 or 4 channels where the most popular videos had some kind of grandparent or grandparent character in them, which is fascinating to me. So that has some resonance in some way, which is very odd. But there you go. Let's see, what else do we see? Expressive face, right? These big reaction faces. Images that are cut in half, right? You see an action shot on one side with a big reaction on the other. And again, foreground, background. Very interesting. Oh, sex sells, and then having a bikini girl with a big face, and then that's topic, right? Very goofy, very. And again, sex sells. There's cleavage in that shot, and then people who didn't review the background of their photos. That's a great topic. Shirtless. So a lot of shirtlessness, which is very interesting. Big reactive faces again. Lots of great color. Again, big reactive faces. Topics are big. Yeah, more faces. Look at that. So many close-ups on faces. And then these kind of really bright, colorful shots. See, I like this one because it's a mid-action shot. Music is another thing that you unexpectedly see on some of these gaming channels where they do a song. We saw on that Indonesian channel, PPAP, which was a song that went viral. We have a Minecraft song on this channel, so there's a lot of different song stuff. I should really be writing this down. I think I'm going to write that down. So, stuff that we're noticing. Sex sells, and then big facial expressions, close-ups on faces. If you're hearing a bell, there's like a guy selling snacks outside. Stuff that we're noticing. Lots of bright color. Arrows pointing at something. Aiming, target reticles, so a view from behind a gun or through the scope of a gun. Thumbnail cut in half, what I call a diptych, and then incomplete actions. So an action that's about to occur. Music, even on gaming channels, some form of music video. Granny, grandpa, grandparents, and then that's going to include like shirtlessness on the sex sells part. Lots of bright color, arrows are pointing at something, aiming, target reticles, a thumbnail cut in half like a diptych, and then a foreground, big facial reaction and expression, and then with a background of an incomplete action. Yeah. Okay. Weird faces. So weird faces that have been slightly photoshopped. Uncanny Valley is another thing that we see a lot. Let's see what else is. We might not get anything more than that, but I'd love to see if we could get more than that. Yeah, lots of big facial expressions, eyes, getting big eyes, big face close-ups. And then what else do we see? A lot of Five Nights at Freddy's content. Not a lot of verses, which has been really interesting to see. I haven't seen a lot of verses. I know we just went through one channel that had some verses. Oh, this is a Minecraft channel. This shouldn't be here. Hang on. And we're back. Okay. Let's see what else we can see. This is interesting. League. These are likely paid. Like League of Legends, the reason some of these are doing well is because they're paid. Yeah, that's just... Look at that big expressive face. Big expressive faces. Diggy hole, and it's music. You can see music. Oh, that's a tactic. Putting a musical note in the title. That's very interesting. What else? Cars. Expensive cars. Expensive cars I'm definitely going to write down. There's something to expensive cars. Incomplete actions. Like, I'm going to write under incomplete actions something that's about to occur. Someone being grabbed. Someone about to be hit by something like a bullet or a slap. Like, all that stuff is good. Let's take a look. Creepy, scary stuff. So, creepy, scary stuff that's going to get you. That's another one that we see a lot on a lot of these channels. That's it, man. So let's review everything that we just looked at and some of the rules that we've come up with, right? Oh yeah, and then open mouth. So like yelling, in shock, sexy, all that stuff. Stuff that we're seeing. Sex sells, right? Thumbnails where things are shirtless, or there's cleavage, or there's bikinis. Like, that's human nature. That's a big part of this. Big facial expressions, close-ups on faces, open mouths, so, like, lots of bright color, arrows pointing at something. Like, we noticed something I thought that was really interesting is FPS, so first-person shooter games, where we see from behind the gun, right? We see this. And so we see someone aiming at something, which I think is really interesting, like an aiming reticle. So a thumbnail cut in half where there's something happening, something happening on one side versus the other side, like before and after, or what have you, or versus. And then incomplete actions, music on gaming channels, I found it very interesting that there were 3 different channels that we looked at that had like grandma and grandpa content. Foreground, big facial reaction content, weird faces, big eyes. Expensive cars was another odd theme that we see a lot in games, and racing. People seem to really like racing. Creepy, scary stuff that's going to get you, and then open mouth. So, like, whatever expression you see with open mouth. So that's the first section, where we've now looked at the top 50 gaming channels in the space that aren't Minecraft and Roblox. Now I'm going to open the Minecraft and Roblox channels, just to see what we can see. I'm going to open these up, and then we'll look at Minecraft and Roblox. I'll be right back.
2 very boring minutes later.
And we're back. So I now have 50 tabs open, just about, maybe more like 30, of Minecraft and Roblox channels. Again, we're excluding Shorts content. I'm probably going to do a separate video for Shorts content, and I'm probably also going to do a separate video for Minecraft and Roblox, just because they deserve it. It's such a huge amount of content. What am I doing right now? Again, we're sorting by most popular. You can tell I'm a little brain dead. I've been at this for like 3 hours. We're sorting by most popular on each of these channels. There we go, said it right. To see what the most viewed videos are doing. Like, I don't care what their latest videos are doing. I care what their most viewed videos are doing, because that's where the secrets are. So we're now in Minecraft and Roblox land, just to see what we can see. We reviewed this in the other section of this video, but you can see songs are huge. Big, expressive faces. You know, a before and after shot. Arrows. Arrows in the thumbnail tends to do a lot of good. Big, bright colors like Lankybox. Really great example of that. Again, big expressive faces, bright colors, things that are coming at you. Five Nights at Freddy's is a huge topic. We see caps lock on a lot of these titles and thumbnails. You know, playing with caps. I'm going to actually write that down. Playing with caps lock and emojis in titles, particularly with songs, the song note emoji. Let's see what else we can see here. Did I write down bright colors already? Yeah, lots of bright color. You know, I'm going to say a rainbow of color. Rainbow of color. Not just bright, but varied color, and mostly primary colors. And then, let's see what else we can see here. Even on Roblox content, it's very interesting, right? You see a lot of faces and a lot of big expressive faces, close-ups on faces. So it's not that different, gang. Incomplete actions, right? So we see these 2 cubes moving. Big expressive faces, something about to fall. Heights. So heights, seeing something that's about to fall. Yeah, heights. Things that are tall, big buildings, people about to fall off tall buildings or from tall heights, which is very visual. That just makes total sense. Big expressive eyes. Do I have big expressive eyes already? Big eyes, big face close-ups, particularly big expressive eyes, and that's happy or sad or angry. So that all has a big impact. What else can we see? Babies. I've noticed pregnancy and babies come up a lot. Pregnancy and babies is something that we see again. People holding babies. What else? Rainbow colors. It's very interesting that rainbow colors consistently. I'm going to write that down if that's not in there already. Rainbow color. A lot of rainbow colors, which is very, very interesting. And then, yep, arrows pointing at things. A lot of versus content, particularly with Minecraft and Roblox content. Explosives, TNT, particularly with Minecraft and Roblox content. Let's see, big expressive faces. There you go, right? There's a foreground and a background and an action. Babies. Isn't that interesting? Babies are big. That's crazy to me that babies, like people have reactions to babies. I'm going to include bodily functions. Peeing and pooping, being on a toilet. You know, it seems like people seem to enjoy that content for some reason. Let's see, what else do we have? This is sailing on down the line. Big scary faces, big scary faces. I think I got scary. Big scary faces. So Five Nights at Freddy's. Teeth is a thing that we tend to see a lot of. Look at all the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. We saw that on other content as well. Racing, expensive cars, heights. Yep. Big rainbow colors, side-by-sides, expensive cars, faces, guns, people behind the gun. That's so interesting. And then as far as topics goes that we see again and again and again, topics that work. We tend to see Grand Theft Auto, a lot of Grand Theft Auto content, Roblox, Minecraft, and that's it. I mean, those are the big ones. Fortnite, I have to say Fortnite, because there were even a few channels that were just built around Fortnite. And then Five Nights at Freddy's, which, by the way, some of these might be dated, because some of these channels have been around. We know that the median of these, like most of these channels, have been around since 2013. So some of these might be dated, like you might not be able to succeed making Five Nights at Freddy's content anymore because there's just not a lot of new games. But Minecraft is pretty evergreen. People are still making Minecraft content. Grand Theft Auto is still evergreen. People are still making a lot of that content. There's nothing wrong with these, but this is something that we see consistently in the top most viewed. Just some of it might be old, keep that in mind. But this stuff is timeless. There's no time limit on all of these rules. So again, I'll save this for you. You can go back and check my notes and look at all this data yourself. But that's it. We found the secrets to YouTube, at least in the gaming space, and I'll make this document available, as I've said before, but I hope this was helpful. I hope it was interesting. If you have any notes or feedback for me, something that I missed or might have overlooked, let me know in the comments. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button, gang. All right, thanks, everybody.